For this industry interview project, I interviewed Jeff Romero. Mr. Romero is the Dean of Athletics for the Macaulay School. He has also worked in the Sports Information Department for several SEC schools, including Auburn University, the University of Tennessee, and the University of Mississippi. As a football and basketball manager in high school, I was able to learn from Mr. Romero and see what it was like to manage a high school athletics department in the day-to-day. One of my biggest takeaways from my interview with Mr. Romero is that pursuing a career in sports or becoming an athletic director isn't something that happens overnight. It takes a lot of time and patience, and it helps to have good mentors who can help you get where you want to go. When I asked him about how he got around to pursuing a career in sports, this is what he had to say. I was floundering in my business classes at Auburn. I've always played sports and watched and enjoyed all sports. One day, I was at a spring football practice at Auburn and saw a man that I typically saw at all other Auburn sporting events. I went up to him and asked him what he did and what his job was. He told me that he was the sports information director. I wasn't sure what that was, but we set up a meeting and I went to see him in his office a few weeks later. He explained to me that what his role was in college athletics and at Auburn. He said if I was interested in working in his office as a student, I should take communications and journalism classes because there was a lot of writing involved in this field. Long story short, I worked as a student in his office for 3 years, really enjoyed the work and being involved in athletics, changed my major to public relations/journalism, and ended up working in that field for 17 years at the college level. For Mr. Romero, it took him many years and a shift in his major and career path before he found what he wanted to do and was able to find success in it. This is a good reminder that even the people you look up to in your preferred field didn't get there overnight and are having to go through many of the same things that you are. We also talked a lot about some of the challenges and things to be aware of when it comes to pursuing a job like being an athletic director. When asked about some of the challenges that come with his job, he said, "The most challenging aspect is dealing with the parents and the parental expectations of their student athletes. I would also add that the current shortage of officials and umpires in all sports makes scheduling and competitions difficult." He also mentioned that with high school athletics, school comes first, and it's important to remember that high school athletes are students first and foremost. While being an athletic director is similar to being a general manager for a professional sports team in some ways, Mr. Romero helped me to realize that there are certainly just as many differences. These challenges of the job that I spoke about with Mr. Romero did not dissuade me from potentially wanting to pursue a similar career path to him. He also spoke a lot about the rewarding moments that come along with his job and offered advice on following in his footsteps. His favorite memory from his time at Macaulay was when the football team beat their arch rivals in the state championship in their home city of Chattanooga this past fall. I think this exemplifies something we talked about. One of the things that can make this job so rewarding is to see student athletes succeed and be able to represent their school in meaningful ways, and the emotion with which Mr. Romero and many other people at Macaulay regard that championship with is a testament to that. Being an athletic director is something I've always thought about potentially wanting to do, and so I'm glad that I was able to interview Mr. Romero. Getting some insight into what he does is something that I think could definitely help me in the future. If I were to do this interview again, I would probably ask more specifically about scheduling games, but all in all, I'd say it was a success.